With hundreds of condos in Miami, which ones are actually worth the money in 2025? In this video, we'll be discussing which condos are the best to rent and also to buy here in Miami. But for those who are new, I'm Ryan the Realtor and I have helped over hundreds of clients relocate to Miami, and I can't wait to work with you next. Now there's several buildings in Miami and this video would be hours long if I talked about all of them. So I'm narrowing down to safety, lifestyle, and quality of life so you can decide which building is right for you. We're going to begin this list with Brickell and specifically starting off with Brickell Heights. Brickell Heights is in a great location, being extremely walkable to everything from grocery stores, dining, etc. People love to live at Brickell Heights specifically because it's super modern, has nice rooftop pools, and nice upscale amenities. But with that being said, the rent prices are more on the affordable side of Brickell living, with one-bedroom pricing starting at $3,500 a month for rent and $650,000 for sale, far exceeding $10,000+ a month for rent at $1.7+ million for sale. But if you want to ball out a little bit more and spend just a little bit more money, we can go right next door to the SLS Lux. The SLS Lux is a condo and hotel building, meaning that some of the amenities are shared in this building. However, this is the only condo in Brickell that has private elevators to each residential apartment. People love this building specifically because the amenities are a little bit more upscale and luxurious. Some of those being its poolside cabanas, tennis court, and basketball court. And the cost? One bedrooms start at $4,000 a month for rent and for sale at about $650,000 and far exceeding $12,000 a month for rent and $2+ million for sale. But if you're looking for something a little bit more quiet and calm, this next building on the list is going to be a great one for you. But first, if you're trying to decide which neighborhood is actually a good fit for you and your personality, I actually made a video talking about Brickell, downtown, and Edgewater so you can see which one is right for you. But now getting back to this list, we'll talk about Reach and Rise condominiums. What makes these buildings unique is that they're right in the Brickell City Center Mall. So for those who love to shop or love to enjoy quiet lifestyle, these are great buildings for you. Reach specifically can be a little bit more quiet and calm. These condos can be secondary homes for a lot of overseas investors. And Rise condominium tends to be a little bit younger, solely based on its location in the city center. Prices begin at $4,000 a month for rent, at $700,000 for sale, and far exceeding $20,000 a month for rent and $3+ million for sale. But lastly, on this list, we're going to take New York and bring it down to Miami, and we're talking about Brickell Flatiron. People love this building specifically because of its mature crowd, low-key lifestyle, and high security. Prices here begin at $4,500 a month for one bedrooms and for sale at about $800,000 and can far exceed $15,000 to $20,000 for rent and about $2 to $4 million. But those are my top 4 recommendations for Brickell. Now let's get over to downtown. We'll begin this list with one of the most expensive buildings in downtown and the newest, that being Aston Martin. What makes this building great is its networking opportunities, close access right across the bridge to Brickell, and for most residents being the first occupant inside their condo. But because this is one of the most expensive buildings in downtown, the prices of course have to reflect that. For one bedrooms, they start at about $6,000 a month for rent and $950,000 for sale, and can far exceed $20,000 to $30,000 a month for rent and $5 to $7 million for sale. This is one of the few buildings in Miami that actually has a great name behind it, specifically Aston Martin. And what makes this building unique that no other building has currently as I'm recording this video is a house car, specifically a DBX Aston Martin house car that can take you within a 5-mile radius from your building. But if that's too lavish for you, let's scale it down a little bit and we'll go over to 900 Biscayne Bay. This location is great, being right in front of the Miami Heat Arena and most apartments having water views. This building offers a mature crowd for people who are looking for a little bit more quiet atmosphere, but still want to have water views and be in downtown. For pricing, one bedroom start at about $4,000 a month for rent or about $650,000 for sale, and can far exceed $10,000+ a month for rent or $3+ million for sale. But the last on this list is probably one of my personal favorites, having the most amount of amenities in downtown, that being the Paramount Miami World Center. This building has actually gotten more walkable over the years, specifically because $1 billion was invested in the surrounding areas to make downstairs more walkable. You have popular retailers from Apple, Lululemon, and dining from Earl's, and so much more. And if you didn't guess it by now, it's Paramount Miami World Center. This building is known for being the most amenitized building in all of Miami, with 5 swimming pools, tennis court, basketball court, golf simulator, recording studio, and so much more. Prices for rent in this building can start at about $4,000 a month for rent, and for sale at about $600,000 to $650,000, and can far exceed $30,000 a month for rent, or about $5 to $7 million for sale. But people love this building because of the amenities, because of the modern finishes, and with that said, that makes Paramount my most favorite building in downtown. But let's finish this list with Edgewater. We'll begin with this neighborhood, specifically at the Paraíso community. It's made up of about 3 main towers, that being Paraíso Bayviews, Paraíso Bay, and One Paraíso. Paraíso Bayviews is the more cheaper, affordable option to live in the community, with pricing starting at about $3,000 a month for rent, or about $500,000 for sale. However, the units can feel a little bit smaller, and on the higher side, they can be at about $6,000 to $8,000 a month for rent, or about $1.2 million for sale. One thing that's important to mention about this building specifically is that it has a rooftop pool, unlike the other buildings in the community. We'll step forward a little bit and go to Paraíso Bay, which is the next middle tier in the community. This specific building in the community is known for its amenities, with a bowling alley, resort-style pool and spa, and tennis courts for those people who love to play. Rent prices start at about $4,000 for 1 bedrooms, and for sale at about $650,000, and can far exceed about $15,000 a month for rent, or about $3 million for sale. But people love this building because of all the amenities that it has to offer. However, if you really want to be right on the water, the One Paraíso might just be the one for you. This building in the community has more of a mature crowd, and this typically can be for more families than younger people. The reason being is it lacks having an abundance of amenities, but it's right on the water, and prices are a little bit higher with that said. For 1 bedrooms, you can expect to pay about $5,500 a month for rent, or about $800,000 to $900,000 for sale, and far exceeding $30,000 to $40,000 a month for rent, or about $7 to $8 million for sale. But if you're more of an outdoors person, then this next building could be great for you, that being Biscayne Beach. Biscayne Beach is known for having a more beachy, lax lifestyle with private foyers, a private beach with volleyball, a community shared beach, and a beach volleyball court that not a lot of buildings have to offer. It's not in an extremely walkable area. However, if you do like that beach and outdoor lifestyle, this could be a great building for you. Prices begin at about $3,750,000 for rent, or at about $630,000 for sale, but on the high side, they can be all the way up to about $10,000 to $12,000 a month for rent, or about $3 to $5 million for sale. And last but not least on this list, we'll hit the most walkable area in Edgewater, that being Paramount Bay. Paramount Bay is right next door to Margaret Place Park and the Venetian Island, which is a very walkable area in Edgewater. The crowd of this building is a little bit more low-key and quiet, but they really love to have their waterfront views and walkability. Prices here begin at about $6,100 a month for rent, and about $910,000 for sale, and they can go upwards of about $12,000 a month for rent, or about $3+ million for sale. In future videos, I'll show you what 3 different budgets can get you in each of the 3 different neighborhoods, so if you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And if you're still on the fence about which Miami neighborhood could be good for you, I also had a free Miami City guide linked in the description below that outlines restaurants, hotels, and activities to do in each neighborhood. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one.